episode of Mater Madness, and today, after a lot of work, this bug is now ready to roll. It had a issue with the valve train on it. Basically what happened was the clip at the end of the rocker arm shaft busted, and then it shifted all the valve rockers over. So today I figured before it gets too cold, we are getting into the winter season, I would take it for a drive and take it out when it's still nice. So on top of that, we'll be going over some things I've done to it, some things that I plan to do to it, and some things to look out for if you have one of these amazing floating vehicles that can float. So without further ado, let's get the party started. I almost forgot. I don't want to kill myself with the garage door shut. That might help to have it open. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I might have not mentioned it, but this is a 1970 VW Beetle. It was my grandfather's, and now we have it. So it's a pretty good vehicle. I think it's got maybe 50 horsepower. A couple things that to look out for on these older VWs is obviously rust, but mechanically wise, there's a couple things that I've already had to do to it. This vehicle's well looked after. It's kept in a garage and only driven on somewhat nice days, but a couple of things that to look out for is obviously rust, but also the shifter. There's two bushings on the shifter shaft that go all the way to the transmission or transaxle in the back. And those bushings, if they're regular bushings that came with these, then as cheap as they are, they're still a pain, and you get sloppy shifting and all that kind of fun stuff. Also, another thing that I've recently done with this bug is the rocker arm assembly. The style that was on here before I upgraded to a solid shaft was clips holding it together, and one day on the highway kind of didn't go too well and broke open, so I lost all of this one has a sunroof on it that leaks when it rains. I think one of the channels that drains the sunroof is clogged up, so it is like a little waterfall when it rains in here, hence I only drive it on nice days. So performance wise, it is definitely not the quickest thing in the world, but it's sure a lot of fun to drive. That is the most definite positive. Looking at one of these, before I get too off topic, look for rust. These engines, they're pretty reliable, but when they start to go, they definitely go. It's definitely not a difficult thing to fix. Some really awesome features in this car is just absolutely incredible, is the heat. It works so poorly that you will never ever get too warm in this bug in the winter. They've got two levers that turn the heat on, and it does not work very well because this has a lot of drafts from a lot of places, and it's an air air-cooled engine, so the heat is not that great, but it does work a little bit. The faster you go, the more heat that comes out, so I guess that's cool. On a quick side note, everybody gives crap for these old cars, or old cars. Well, that was nice of you. Everyone gives crap to these older cars, and they always say, well, they break down, which is true. However, with cars like this, where they're only driven on nice days, things like brake fluid and other things, they get kind of neglected. They think, oh, I only drive it a couple thousand miles a year, and then they wonder why it breaks. Well, I mean, you still got to take care of them. You got to keep up on maintenance like any other vehicle, and if you don't keep up on the maintenance, then your nice old classic car will break a lot. So that's just a side note. Now that we've taken it for a little bit of a drive to go over some basic things about the car, still 1970. The windows have been tinted, but other than that, everything is factory. It's been completely redone. It's got that crank sunroof in it, which is quite neat. And obviously repainted, but this resto was done about 8 or 9 years ago. It's got the 1600cc engine, I believe. This awesome steering wheel, and there is supposed to be right here a lever to open the gas door, but currently we are using pliers to pull the cable to put gas in it, obviously, and the gas gauge wiggles around a little bit. Back seat looks awfully comfortable. I guess the wind pushes them. Like I said, it's got a 1600cc engine, just a regular VW Beetle engine, nothing special. It's in pretty good shape. Like I said, it's been restored, frame off, I believe, and really handles nice, it drives nice. It's a little bit bumpy, but you know, it's just a regular Beetle. I got a bunch of crap in there for parts and stuff, but it's a pretty clean little bug, and hasn't really given me any problems besides the valves jumping, but apparently that's pretty common. Yeah, that's all about this vehicle, and should see it in a lot of upcoming videos. Maintenance wise, I got to do the brakes and stuff, so that's for future and later videos.